When it comes to the Soulsborne series, the only thing we can know from the get-go is that there will be many secrets in whatever title you're playing. From the lore to each character's motivations and zones, nothing is certain and everything requires a big magnifying glass to pick up all the subtleties their games throw at you. So I've thought, let's compile a list of 7.5 less known facts that people might not know, and if by the end of the video you've discovered 3 new details you didn't know before, a sub always comes in handy for me. And what do I mean with 7.5? There is one that I consider more well known to the community, and that one counts as half. Let's see if you can figure it out which one I'm talking about. Let's go for fact number 1. If you follow the intended progression order in Sekiro, you'll end up fighting Genichiro, talking to Kuro in the castle, and then to Ishin at his quarters, and moving to Mount Kongo afterwards, where at the end of that zone you'll fight objectively the worst boss fight in this game, and runner-up for the first spot of worst Fromsoftware boss fights if Bed of Chaos didn't exist. But did you know that if you follow this order, you'll be missing out a very important character for the development of the plot of the rejuvenating children in the temple? This is the current leader of Simple Temple. What many people think is that beating Genichiro will remove that character from the main hall, but that's not true. The actual trigger to make him disappear is talking to Ishin, who will reveal the origin of the red mortal blade to you. Missing this character is a bummer, because to understand what the Simple Temple's story is about, he is key in a sense that he shows remorse for killing the rejuvenating children. Who were going to be the cradle to return the dragon to the west. Basically the same role that the girl plays in the Dragon Homecoming ending. That's why she's hidden at the Illusory Hall, because her friends, the spirit monkeys of the children who died because of this specific monk, are protecting her from any harm. Personally, I think finding this character makes it much easier, quote-unquote, to progress towards the most convoluted ending ever in any FromSoftware Souls game until 2019, because he will give you the infested tome right then and there. And when you meet the girl, you'll hand it over to her, instead of having to wait to beat the false corrupted monk and diving in this random pond to get the tome at the bottom, and bringing it back to her. It is also very unnatural to get the infested tome from him naturally, because you have to talk to the lady who's praying on the bridge, and either go there straight or beat Genichiro, but you can't talk to Kuro, otherwise the monk will refuse to talk to you. Sadly, I don't have any footage of this, it was corrupted, but you can test it yourself. Beat Genichiro, talk to Kuro, don't talk to Ishin, and don't talk to the lady on the bridge. You'll see he's open to chat a little, but no infested tome will be given, or he won't say anything to you. Classic FromSoftware convoluted triggers for an NPC. The fog wall has been an iconic element in every Souls-like ever since FromSoftware came up with its blueprint. It's a staple in all of their deliveries that started as a way to give the game some time to load the boss in the arena while the character crossed it. It could also be a way to demake the rest of the area behind the fog while you fought the boss. Nowadays, it's purely a way to avoid boss skipping and to tell you you're about to get your head slapped so hard, your hair will become your beard. One thing that hasn't changed is that once you cross it, there's no way of going back. But did you know there is an exception to this? In Dark Souls 1, there's a boss fight that you have to lose in order to progress the story, and that is the first encounter with Seath the Scaleless. When you cross the fog and realize there's something wrong with this boss because you can't beat it, you can go back to avoid the fight. What do you think about two-way fog doors? Should they be more present in their games, or would they decrease the intimidation factor of a boss if there's always a way to escape them? Let me know in the comments. Henry, the NPC wearing cool Dark Souls 1 armor, is a key character for unlocking one of the most convoluted endings in Dark Souls 3, if not the most convoluted one. Did you know that if you don't talk to Yes Binary, Henry, and Horus at the Crossroads Fortress, they will never leave? And when I say never, I really mean it. Feel free to come back there anytime to continue the marriage quest, and they will be there waiting for you. In the Old Hunters DLC, Gehrman was the one leading the charge against the inhabitants of the fishing hamlet, who were infected by parasites that were brought by Kos on her dying bed. German, Maria, and a group of other hunters working with the Healing Church participated in the assassination of an entire coastal village because they wanted to investigate this contact with a Great One and also prevent the plague from spreading. But what they didn't know was that Cos was pregnant. Babies during their very first years copy everything they hear. That's how they develop their language. Did you know that the very first things the orphan heard was German's screams while slashing at his mother? And that's why when he attacks, he screams, because those are German's lines. But a little more twisted to fit the tone of a great, skeletal and pale orphan holding his mother's placenta as a weapon. For this one, we'll be doing connections with Elden Ring and the Old Hunters. The Rime of the Ancient Mariner is a poem from the 18th century, and it explains the story of a mariner who survives the terrible curse that he cast upon his crew and himself when he murdered an albatross, which was an omen of good nature and fortune. After doing so, one of the curses was being visited by a ghostly ship, who brought a female character called Life in Death. Mariner, ghostly ship, those who live in death. Does it ring a bell? D, the character who gives hell to those who live in death, says the following:
"Those who live in death should be left well alone."
We all know this is one of the most well-known quotes from Bloodborne.
A corpse should be left well alone.
Besides this connection, the Mariner could have been a huge inspiration to develop the Old Hunters. Have a look at these lines. "One after one, by the star-dogged moon, too quick for a groan or sign, each turned his face with a ghastly pang, and cursed me with his eye, and some in dreams assured were, of the spirits that plagued us so." It also mentions slimy things that come from the sea, like cursed creatures, and the best part of it, an orphan's curse would drag to hell, a spirit from on high. But oh, more horrible than that is a curse in a dead man's eye. I don't know about you, but reading that last bit reminds me of the blood-drunken hunters, the dead men. And the cursed eye is the one you use to access the hunter's nightmare. Or it could probably be that yellow thing that you can see in the background in the sky while you go through the Old Hunters DLC. I'll stop it here because there are many parallels and I don't want to overextend this portion of the video, but if you would like to see a video dedicated only to analyze the possible Old Hunters inspiration in this poem, let me know in the comments. In every Souls game, Patches has been shown to be a spineless character who steals from other people and deceives your own character again and again, no matter the location, the realm, or even if he is a damn insect. You can be sure that he will be up to no good. He's a survivor and doesn't care about being a coward as long as he lives, and for that, he will run from battles and beg for his life. However, you might know a line that says, "There's honor among thieves." We can see that in Dark Souls 3, Patches does care about someone who isn't himself, and that's Greyrat. If you manage to do the impossible task of bringing Patches to Firelink Shrine before sending Greyrat to Irithyll, the moment you do send him there to loot, Patches will express his concern.
Hey, what happened to Greyrat anyhow? I haven't seen him at all lately. Well, if you know where he scurried off to, be sure and tell me. What? Gone all the way to Irithyll, has he? Oh, the old rat. He's gone off the deep end this time.
And rightfully so. Irithyll is a dangerous place, which can be seen by the first outcome of Greyrat's quest, his death while pillaging. That happens if you neither bring Patches to Firelink, nor buy the Katarina armor and hand it to Sigurd at the Cathedral of the Deep. In that case, there will be no one to save him. However, if Patches is there, and you let him know that you send Greyrat to Irithyll, he will put on the Katarina set he so lovely borrowed from Sigurd's to save Greyrat.
I might have died if it wasn't for that peculiar onion knight.
Some might think that he needed the armor to fight the sewer centipedes, but what I think is that he didn't want anyone to see him saving a person. I mean, not even Grey Rat knows it was Patches who rescued him. Only we, the players, can add 2 and 2 and discover that it was him. How convenient for him that the only character who knows he has a soft spot is mute, and the most he can do is jot down a note saying, "Plump sword ahead." In the Dark Souls titles, specifically in 1 and 3, the multiplayer interactions go beyond summoning and invading. A lot of people know that in Dark Souls Remastered, when you hear the bells toll in your world, be it near the Fair Lady or in the Undead Parish, it means that another player rang the bells in their own world. It's a neat little detail to motivate you to ring your bells, or it can also be used as a guide so you can follow the sounds to discover where they are. In the Undead Parish, after the gargoyles fight, the stairs are so long because Miyazaki wanted to give time to any summoned players to return to their world, so they can hear whoever they help to ring their bells. If you didn't know that, I'm pretty sure you won't know the next. The bells are not the only connection to other worlds. Also, the statues of petrified people are not randomly placed near basilisks. They actually represent players who died of curse right there. Meaning, if you go face Seath and no one has died of curse in his arena, you won't see any statues when you enter there. Also, if you enter the game offline and you go to the depths, where you can see the basilisks, you'll notice that there aren't any statues there. But quit the game, go online, and visit the same location and you will see that some statues will start appearing. Additionally, in Dark Souls 3, the same thing happens with the bell to trigger the Nameless King fight. When you hear it, it means someone is on their way to their grave. Let's not drop Dark Souls 3 just yet. I've saved the final spot for it. Irithyll Dungeon is arguably the worst zone in Dark Souls 3. It could have been painful and quick, but Fromsoftware decided to add the jailers, and those monsters will have you repeating the dungeons more than once, to say the least, after they drop your health all the way to 1. What if I told you that there is a way to avoid that? And it's as easy as staying glued to their backs. Yeah, you got that right. As long as you move to either side and stay glued to their backs, they won't be able to catch you with whatever they use to reduce your HP, because it basically comes from their side. Well, comrades, I hope you have learned at least a couple of new facts about Fromsoftware games. If you would like me to keep with this series of Souls curiosities, make sure to hit the like button so I can catch the message. For my next video, I'll be listing some big and not so big differences between the 1.0 and the current version of Elden Ring. Bye!
Goodbye. I will leave for some time. So long for now. Do stay safe, you hear? Or my efforts will have been for naught.